Hello and welcome. My name is Mayank Shekhar. That's Fahad Summer, and you're on India's first full-length film review show on television. That's Friday Double Bill. As usual, this week also we'll tell you whether we think a film playing at a theatre near you is a Dekho or a Pheko.
That's right, we have a very interesting lineup of films for you, starting with Ajay Devgan's Drishyam, then the Adam Sandler film Pixels. We also discuss the Jake Gyllenhaal film Southpaw, and we also take a look at Ian McKellen in and as Mr. Holmes.
Drishyam is a psychological thriller set in Goa where a murder takes place. We know who the killer is. It's a young girl who was being blackmailed by a young boy with a nude video of hers. The death, as it turns out, was actually an accident. The girl's mother helps dispose of the body. Now the entire family, including the father and the youngest daughter, have decided to smartly cover up the crime. The boy was the son of a top police officer played by Tabu. She is absolutely sure that the middle-class Goa family before us has something to do with the disappearance of her son. What we witness, therefore, is a cat-and-mouse chase and a crime procedural, while the audience already knows who has committed the murder and why and how. This film, directed by Nishikant Kamath, stars Ajay Devgan in the lead role.
As we all know, Mayank, this film has been made in all the four main South Indian languages before finally coming to the Hindi screen by Nishikant Kamath. And I braved 103 temperature, the monsoon rains, traffic of 1.5 hours to get to the cinema hall to witness what I thought would be a really wonderful film. This was 2 hours 40 minutes long, and the first 45 minutes I was wondering what the hell was going on. It was the most twee, inane, ridiculous kind of amateur filmmaking for the longest time possible. Finally, they get down to the real meat of the subject, which you've already enumerated in your synopsis, and that's really what the film is about. Now, if they could have dispensed with that, we would have been much better for it. Given that you know that who done it, it's more about how done it. The exposition of how done it is so tedious and completely and utterly long drawn out, and to make it so underline everything for the audience because they've dumbed it down to this level, I found it really excruciating sitting through the film. What about you?
Well, the rate at which Drishyam is being remade, I almost thought this is the new Devdas of our times. Of course, it was the biggest grossing film in Malayalam cinema ever. So that explains it. Mohanlal was the hero there. And recently, of course, Kamal Hassan played the main part, Ajay Devgan's part, which I think in any case is badly cast because you don't want a hardcore hero for a person who's supposed to be an underdog in this picture, who's apparently not even gone beyond class 4, but he watches a lot of films, all kinds of films, and therefore knows a lot about how to cover up crime, which is really what this picture is about. But looking at the director, now here is this person who made Don't Be Fast. I don't know if you got a chance to watch that film.
Absolutely.
Which is a lovely film on personal angst or anger against the system, and then he went on to make a film Mumbai Meri Jaan, which was also an extension in that sense, and thereafter he just became like this very hardcore potboiler kind of filmmaker, having made Force, and then of course more recently Lai Bhari, which is a Marathi hardcore kind of Salman Khan kind of picture. So yes, we kind of know where this picture is coming from. It's trying to reach out to as many people as possible, although there is very little meat in it in terms of action or comedy or drama, what you would expect in a masala entertainer. And if we're really comparing to Devdas, I mean, of course, Devdas' plot also was kind of hinged onto something which is like a misunderstanding of 1 minute. You solve that and the rest of Devdas is fine. But this picture is essentially only about plot, Fahad. And here I'm looking at this film which is only hinged onto a plot, and the plot is what? That there is a young boy who is like in his class 12 or something, he's a teenager. He's taken a nude video of somebody from another school. The girl does the right thing, which is to approach her parents or her mom, but thereafter you would involve their family, you would involve the husband, and maybe you would not need to kill that poor boy, even if it's an accident. So yeah, I mean, the premise itself is so hollow that the rest of the film was unbearable for me.
Speaking of unbearable, Mayank, I have to say the background score, if everything else wasn't bad enough, the first 45 minutes is this really inane comedy tunes to underline very unfunny comedy sequences which are there for no other reason other than to fill space as far as I'm concerned. Then you introduce Tabu, and whether she gets up from a chair and walks 2 meters or whether she's just doing sweet bugger all, you have this resounding, crashing background score that is blaring at full volume as if she is some demi-goddess or, you know, coming to wreak havoc. And she's just an IG of police and she's a mother, and, you know, this could have been a poignant, beautifully etched role. But I think often things like this, the background score should really, you know, be thought about very carefully. You've got music by Vishal, you've got lyrics by Gulzar, and this third-rate background score, oh my god.
Well, actually, come to think of it, we're talking about Tabu. Here's this person, this protagonist, whose son is missing, and it's been many, many days. She doesn't even know whether the son is alive or not, and all she's interested in is this particular family and how to nail them. I thought that, for me, was an oh my god so far as the whole film is concerned.
Well, there you have it. I think it's a complete no-brainer. This has just been 2 hours, 40 minutes of utter nonsense. There were very few redeeming factors in this film. I certainly couldn't find it. As far as I'm concerned, this is a Pheko. But if you're feeling particularly keen to watch this film, watch it on DVD and fast forward a lot of it, because you'll be a better person for it.
Well, how do I put it, Fahad? I think it was Vishyam, Drishyam, Finishyam soon enough, and that's what really I thought. Throughout the picture, it's a Pheko from my side for sure. That's it, guys. That was Friday Double Bill for you. Tell us what you think of the movies. Tell us what you think of the show. And yes, please do subscribe to our channel.